If you are struggling to choose between Mount Pilatus, Rigi, Titlis or Stoos, you're not alone. And I can easily name 6 more mountains near Lucerne that are absolutely worth your time. If you want the most spectacular rides up the mountain, then there are 3 mountains I would recommend. The first one is Mount Pilatus over here, because there are 2 routes up and both are very steep and beautiful in terms of scenery. The second mountain I'd recommend is Mount Stanzerhorn. That's also spectacular because of its open air rooftop cable car. Now then there is Stoos, that's the third one I would consider for spectacular rides, because that's the world's steepest funicular. It's absolutely amazing engineering. Now, if you want the best 360 degrees views on the top without walking anywhere when you arrive, then again, Mount Pilatus is a very good option, but also Mount Rigi over here has beautiful 360 degree views. Then there is Mount Titlis, I would absolutely recommend for that. And again, Mount Stanzerhorn over here. It also has great views all around. But it has to be said, the views are good on any of these mountains, but these 4 here have amazing 360 degree views. If you're looking for variety, for example, enjoying multiple modes of transport when going up and down the mountain, then Mount Rigi over here is a very good option, because you can go there using 4 different modes of transportation. You can go by boat like this and take the cable car up, but you can also take the boat a little bit further, then take the cogwheel train. Then there's a cogwheel train on the other side, and you can take the normal train back to Lucerne. So there are a lot of options there. Also, Mount Pilatus is a very good option for variety. There's first a bus ride from Lucerne, then the first cable car, which is more of a small gondola, and then a steep, bigger cable car to the top. So that's already 3 modes of transport. Then there's a cogwheel train down the mountain, a very steep one. And you can go back to Lucerne either by train or by boat. So again, a lot of options there to have a varied day. Also, Burgenstock is a good option for variety, because you can go there by boat, and the last section is a funicular. But what a lot of people forget is on the other side of the mountain there's a bus route to Stans over here, and then by train you can go back to Lucerne. So that's all in all 4 modes of transport. Plus, when you will want to do a little bit of walking, over here there's a steep lift attached to the rock walls, the Hammerswamp lift, and you can count that as a 5th mode of transport. Very spectacular indeed. Another way to decide which mountaintops to visit is to check which are free to ride with the Swiss Travel Pass. If you have a Swiss Travel Pass, you can go to Mount Rigi, for example, for free on all modes of transport. But the same applies to Stanzerhorn, but also to Stoos, plus Klevenalp, Stockhütte is also free, Zuckerberg is free, Mount Riestis over here is free, across the valleys from Mount Titlis, and Burgenstock over here is also free if you take the route by bus and by train. Another way to add variety to your day is to have lunch on the top, and that's very simple actually, because all these mountains on the map have a restaurant on the top. Now if you want to have dinner on top of the mountain, that's a bit more complex because the choices are a bit more limited. You can do that at Stoos over here. You can also have dinner at Zuckerberg over here. And if you want to have a more luxurious dinner, then Chateau Guge in Lucerne is absolutely a great option with views across the whole town. And there is Burgenstock for a more luxurious dinner over here. If you don't like the crowds, you may want to avoid the mountains with a lot of tourist attractions on the top. So go off the beaten path a little bit. I would say that Zuckerberg falls into that category. The funicular up there is used for school transportation. And you end up in a foresty landscape with farmland and where you can do some easy walks. So that's a nice day trip or half a day. Also, Klevenalp over here and Stockhütte are not as touristy as the other mountains. And there's actually a nice walking trail from one mountain to the other. Also, Riestis over here across the valley from the more famous Mount Titlis here is a lot less touristy. So that's also another good option for you. Maybe you want to combine your visit to a mountaintop with a short, easy, panoramic walk. Those options are available too. For example, here at Mount Rigi, but also, as I mentioned before, Klevenalp and Stockhütte. And Mount Ristis is also a good location for some easy walks. In a perfect world, you'd stay in Lucerne for 2 weeks with fantastic weather every single day. But realistically, you have to choose strategically, especially when you factor in the other regions in your Swiss itinerary. As you can see, preparation is everything. I've put a link in the video description where you can see how we can help you plan an itinerary tailored entirely to your preferences.